ese cholo.
Oh, there I am. All right, what's up, familia? Welcome inside the pad. Hope you guys are doing good. Keep in between the lines. Got your load secure. All right, man. Before I get started, there is something I want to talk about. Before I get started, I was reminded today from a homie of mine, right? From a homeboy of mine, that today is the birthday of one of our really, really good homeboys that was shot and killed back in 2002. And I got his little button here with the picture, right? The reason why I'm bringing this up, okay? The reason why I'm bringing this up, by the way, rest in peace to my homeboy Silent, David Urbina. Gosh, man, he was a really, really good homeboy of mine. And that should speak volumes, which what I'm about to tell you guys right now. If you think that you're not gonna get forgotten, like, do I forget who he is? No, I don't forget who he is. But I forgot that today was his birthday. I mean, he died in back in 2002. I remember when he died, it's like, damn, homie, you'll always ride shotgun, big dog. I'll never forget anything about you, man. I'll always life moves on, everybody. Life moves on. Now his family, his mom, and them, yeah, of course, they're not gonna remember, but everybody else, some point, dog, it may take a decade, it may take 2 decades, it may take more, but at some point, people do move on. I remember when he passed away, man, and it hurt more than my other homeboys because he was actually my really, really close camarada like that, right? I have other homeboys that have died as well. And I'm gonna bring up the conversation in just a second. I'm only making this point that you will get forgotten. Okay, you will slowly, you will get forgotten. But I remember when he first passed away, it was like, damn, homie, I'll come here, I'll visit you every week or every month or every on your birthday, I'll be here, dog. Nah, dog, I haven't gone to visit him in quite some time. It was probably it wasn't that long ago, maybe about like 4 years ago on Dia de los Muertos. I went to go visit him. And before that, it had been more and more years. So all this, hey man, how do you want to be remembered? Charlie, you go live your life. You go live your life. Don't go live your life on how do you want to be remembered because you're not going to. At some point, you would just fade off into oblivion. So just go live your life. You only got so much time left. Make it count. All right. Let's see who's in here, man. I'm gonna get to. And by the way, I'm gonna drop the phone number tonight. I'm dropping the phone number, Holmes, in case anybody wants to tap in. All right, let's see what's up to Derek, Andrew. What's going on, homie? You have that one homeboy. He more like a brother. Yeah, yeah, and that was him, and that was him. But he died back in 2002. I didn't forget about him, but I forgot that today was his birthday. I had to be reminded. I'm like, damn, it just made me remember that, hey, you know what? Stop living your life on how you want others to remember you. Stop living your life on for others or, hey, how do you want to be remembered? Because the key thing is, Holmes, they won't. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Life will move on. So when people ever ask me, hey, how do you want to be remembered? I don't care. However, the heck you remember me, I'm going to live for me. I'm not going to live my life on, hey, I want to make sure I'm remembered this way. However, the heck anybody remembers me, that's how they remember me. Some will remember me this way, some will remember me that way, and some somewhere in the middle. And some won't even care. So I will live life for me. What's up, old tunes? So man, I hope you're doing. Hey, what's up, Johnny Garcia? Keep that rubber side down, homie. Keep them miles going. Keep it between the lines, brother. All right. So let me actually put this over here. All right. So check this out. Let's get into something. Let's get into something a little juicy, Holmes. Right? And I remember I brought this up. By the way, man, shout out to my homeboy David Urbina, aka Silent Man. That was damn. That was a really good camarada right there, mine dog. You guys go live your life. All right. Stop with the whole hey, how do you want to be remembered? People aren't going to remember you. Eventually, you will fade away. Um, your memory. Um. Okay. So anyway, I want to go ahead and bring this up. Right. There was this situation. I have conversations with people pretty often. Right now, some people may think that hey, I'm a trucker and I don't talk to anybody. In many ways, that is true. Okay. But when I stop and I make my deliveries, unlike other truckers, a lot of truckers, they just back up to the dock, right? Or they have to go off and hand the paperwork over, then they go into their truck and they wait. That's not my gig. Okay. I actually have to go in there with them and not show them what's what, but I have to stand there to make sure they deliver it. I'm sorry, to make sure they receive it. I'm delivering it to make sure they receive it. I have to be there as they receive it. I'm not over there, unloading it or anything of that sort. They jump on the forklift, they take it out, and then I have to wait there as they're receiving it, right? They have to scan it in with the guns and it's whatever pieces. So some drivers got to do that. A lot don't. A lot just back up to the dock. Boom. They wait to the light. It hooks the back of the trailer. Um, the light turns red. They wait till the light turns green or till they hear that smack on the trailer. Move it on, driver. Right. Boom. That's how you know they're done. So whenever I go and make a delivery, yeah, I get a chance to talk it up, you know, chat it up with people. Sometimes, and a lot of times I go into the receiving office and I chop it up with people. Some of the places I've been to numerous of times where I'm able to kick back, you know, drink a little bit of water, have a conversation with them um, when they're unloading me and receiving it, or sometimes we have to wait for somebody to come to receive it or unload it, I should say, or both, right? So I have so I do have some good fun conversations, homie, right? And I was chopping it up with homegirl today, right? She's a receiving clerk. Most of the receiving clerks I come across, most, not all, are females. Okay, most of them. And I was chopping it up with her, and she was telling me that she was dating some dude, right? She's a single woman, but she was dating some dude, and it was getting really serious. But one thing that bothered her was the fact that he had a couple of homegirls, okay, a couple of female friends. Again, finger quotes, right? And I always that was one thing that I always thought about where it's like, okay, what's with the friendship of the opposite sex? So anyway, just to finish her story, right? Which is bringing up this topic. Um, she was trying to spend more time with them and more time with them and more time with them in hopes. You know what? Let me change the font right here. I could do a little better than this font. Let me see. Hold on. Let me change this right here and we'll get back to it. Let me see. Let me put something feed man. There we go. Oh yeah, baby. All right. Now we're down. All right. So she was spending more time with them and she felt like it was getting serious, right? Spend some. And she thought eventually at some point that he would kind of let go of these female friends that he has, but never really did, you know? And I asked her, like, well, define what you mean by that. Like, are they hanging out? Are they coming over to his pad? Is he going over to their pad? Like, define what you mean by it, right? Like, does he just know who they are? How come this isn't okay? What's up, Droops? And yeah, she was saying that, oh yeah, he'll hang out with them, not all the time, but every here and there. And they he introduced I don't know how many homegirls he had. I couldn't be too much, but he introduced them to her, whatever, man. But that he would still hang out with them whenever she wasn't around or whatever, right? And I'm thinking to myself, okay. And they're young. Well, I'm assuming he's young because she's young. And I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I want to ask a question. So anyway, she ended up she ended up ending it. Although she's in one of those situations, Holmes, where it's like she ended up, but she's still chopping it up with them. You guys know what I'm talking about, dog. You know what I mean? They're still talking and stuff like that, like childless, dog. And I told her, I said, hey, look, straight up, if you're gonna end it, like completely end it. That's it. Nothing done. Pow, cold, over. You turn your back and you walk away. You turn your back and you walk away. You don't look back. No social media, no block their phone number, nothing, Nathan, nada. It's done. You're gone, right? But of course, she didn't do that anyway, and and I don't even really care. But what the reason why I bring that up is because it is something that I like to, and I brought this up on the round table not that long ago. Is what is it with having friends of the opposite sex that people find so intriguing, that people find that I don't know if they feel like they have to have friends with the opposite sex, or what is it with that? I don't understand it. Let me find, where is it? Oh, it's right here. Okay. What is it with that? Because I'm gonna tell everybody right now, okay? Do I know hyenas? Yeah, I do. I know quite a few, but I'm not friends with them. I guess you need to define what a friend is, right? Do you hang out with them? I mean, look, in conversation, in passing, okay, let's take somebody for example, right? B, Becky Lopez. She does the round table every other Thursday here on this channel, right? We do the round table. If somebody were to ask me, hey, are you friends with B, with Becky Lopez? I would just say yes. I would just say yes out of conversation. I'm not gonna get into I I'm not gonna get into explaining it like, well, I know her, but we're not friends. We just kind of I'll just say yes. I'll just say sure. I'll just say yeah, right? But in reality, and even if you guys ask her, are we hanging out? Do I hit her up and say, hey, what's up? How you been? What do you got going on this weekend? You want to hang out or no, we don't do any of that. As a matter of fact, the only time we talk really is just when we do the roundtable, or if we need to talk about something we're on a group text together. I don't text her just for no reason whatsoever, just to say hi. Like, no. So is she really truly a friend like that? No, right? But if somebody were to ask me, hey, is she your friend? Yeah, sure. I'd say yes. Yes. Because, like I said, I'm not going to get into a whole explanation of our relationship, right? So, so my thing is, what is it with having friends of the opposite sex. I raised my sons. I raised my sons, and just the other day I threw this at them too, right? I'm like, "Hey, are you cool with having friends of the opposite sex?" And they're like, "No." Especially if you're in a relationship, especially if you're in a relationship. In my opinion, Holmes, in my opinion, if you cannot get that from the person that you're with the wrong person. Now, knowing people from the opposite sex, that's one thing. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think it needs an explanation, especially women, dog. Hyenas, let me tell you guys this. I don't think there's any hyenas on here right now. Right now, it's just the boys. Hyenas want men's approval so bad. They're quick with the snap of a finger to call every dude that they know a friend. Every dude. I'm telling you guys, man. I'm telling all you about this, man. Before hyenas jump on here, if they jump on here tonight, maybe they don't. And it'll just be the boys, which is freedom and homie, all right? Because hyenas are crazy. You don't believe me? If you don't believe me that hyenas are crazy, dog, I'll tell you, Vatos, dog. Every hyena has some sort of paranormal experience. Talk to any girl. They'll tell you they either saw a ghost or they saw something move on its own, or they saw somebody in a cemetery, or somebody dead came to them in a dream and spoke to them, or somebody sent them a message through some freaking paranormal experience. Every single hyena has a story like that. Every single hyena is into the horoscopes. Hey, a Virgo is with, matches up best with a Gemini. Scorpios, we're supposed to be like this. Hey, every hyena has it. Every hyena, dog, I'm telling you, man, they're all insane in the membrane, Holmes. Okay. Some more than others. Some more than others, man. Shouts to other ladies. If you're a woman and you're watching this, you're beautiful and perfect. I'm not talking about you. But anyway, when it comes to this, right? And that's what I was telling is what I was telling homegirl. And I told her, look, if he's seeking the other sex's attention that way, yeah, you're probably best just letting him go. But it's a little bit different. There's definitely a double standard. There's definitely a different double standard when it's man and woman, and that's the part that I don't like is the fact that everybody denies double standards. Like, no, 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 we're all the same. We're exactly the same. When one does it, the other one does it. It should be exactly the same. Yeah, but it's not, and I don't have a problem with it. It should be different. We all know damn well. Hang on, let me take a drink, dog, because I think I'm gonna go on a rant here. I had said on one of my trucker lives, I don't even remember what I was talking about, honestly. But I had said on one of my trucker lives, I said, hey, listen, when when a man cheats, it's bad and that should end the relationship, right? And I said, but when a woman cheats, it's actually a little bit worse. It doesn't mean that it excuses the man. It doesn't mean that the man should get away with it or there should be some extra penalty card where it's like, well, it was a man doing it. No, 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 no. They're both bad, and both of them will fracture the relationship. Absolutely, absolutely. However, it's worse when the woman does it. And I was getting it thrown back at me like, whoa, 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 wait. Why is it worse when the woman does it? Why is it worse when the woman does it? And I said, because it's a woman. That's why. And they couldn't get it. They're like, okay, but why is it worse? What's the double standard there? Why is it different when a woman did? I said, okay, they're both bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying one is forgivable and the other one is not. I'm saying one is worse than the other. And they just couldn't get it. It's like, why is there a double standard? Because there is. because there's a man and there's a woman, because there's double standards all over the place. And one of the biggest problems that we have is the fact that we don't acknowledge the double standards. As a matter of fact, we have a problem with denying double standards when the double standards are there to actually help. There is a damn difference. And I'm getting off topic here, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Look, check this out, how double standards work, everybody. When a man hits a woman, it's much different than when the woman hits the man. Why? Because one is a man and one is a woman. Does that mean one is right and the other's wrong? No, it doesn't. They're both wrong. But to say that you feel exactly the same about both, you know damn well you don't. And if you say that, you're lying, and you know you're lying. You know one is worse than the other. They're both bad. I tell every vato, hey, homie, if your lady strikes you, end it, dog. End it. Not well, it was a woman though, dog. So, she gets a pass because it'd be worse if you hit her. Even though we all know, we don't all admit it. I'll be the only one that admits it. We know we'd feel a certain way if he were to hit her. There'd be a much stronger feeling. We know how we feel when it's a 40-year-old dude having sex smashing on a 15-year-old high school girl. Oh, that enrages everybody. That guy should be crucified. He should be burnt to death. He should be dead, right? He should be tortured. Everybody feels that way. All right. 40-year-old woman having sex with a 15-year-old kid, a 15-year-old dude. Oh, that's wrong too. Yes, that's wrong as well. Yes, it is. But you know damn well you don't feel the same way. Not saying it's right. They're both wrong. They're both should suffer the consequence. But you know damn well you do not feel the same way. And if you do, you know you're lying. You are lying. Of course, there's double standards. When a relationship doesn't work out and you guys got kids, if the dad leaves the home and becomes an every other weekend dad and sees his kids 2-3 times during the week, oh man, that guy gets credit. It's like, hey man, you know what? The relationship didn't work out, but that dad is still around. He still sees his kids, whatever, 8 times a month, 10 times a month. Oh, he's a great dad. You know what? He's still stuck around for his kids and everything. Now reverse that. Let's say it was the mom that decided to leave the home and she's only seeing her kids every other week. You know damn well everybody would judge that woman and say, like, damn, she must not care about her kids. Double standards exist, and that's fine. All right. Where was I going with this? Actually, I just wanted to go on that rant real quick. Anyway, what? Constant need for attention. The only time guy can befriend a female, she had to be gay. Look, there is nothing to having friends of the opposite sex. I'm not talking about you know them. Okay, I know a couple Hainas. But to say that we're friends, to say that, hey, we're gonna go kick it together, we're gonna go hang out, I'm gonna hit her up just because I'm sitting on the couch, I'm bored or whatever. That's no, dog. And I find it interesting that people get so defensive when it comes to this. They get so defensive on the, hey, do I need to give up my friends? What if the relationship doesn't work? Now I don't have friends. Like it's such this, Okay, I don't think you're really invested into the relationship then. Because if your argument is you want to hold on to your friends, first of all, let me go ahead and say this, dog. I'm gonna go and pull this out there. Okay, put this out there. That is this. If there's a vato in a woman's life and she considers him a friend, like a lot of women consider most dudes friends, even though when you talk to the dude, he's just like, oh yeah, she's just a fine, I know, right? But to her, it's like, no, we're friends, man. That's my friend right there. Um, Usually that means the dude wants something from that hyena. Doesn't mean that he's gonna pursue it, but hey, he'll stick around and maybe she'll come through one day. If not, oh well, she's still there. And I know a lot of people that's gonna rub people the wrong way, dog. And I'm wrong. And I'm telling you guys right now, if you think I'm wrong, yes, I'm exactly wrong. So, all right, let me. Oh, hold on. I got more to. I should probably lower this. All right. Oh, there we go. All right. I was getting a text message right now. Um, Damn it, I lost my train of thought. Okay. Yes. Yes. So, question is, can you can you be friends with the opposite sex? And not only can you, should you? Should you be friends with the opposite sex? I dropped something on Instagram earlier today saying that just because you live your life with, hey, there's nothing wrong with it, doesn't mean that there's something right with it. And a lot of times I think that's what people do. Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. The absence of wrong does not mean it's replaced with something right. Like I said, do I know hyenas here and there? Yeah, I do, dog, but I don't, they're not friends like that. And very easily, if one day a woman comes into my life or whatever, yeah, they're gonna find out pretty darn fast that they were never really my friends like that. Because all my time invested to a woman is gonna be to that woman, right? Let me all right. I haven't tried this in a while. In case anybody wants to tap in, go ahead. Like I said, I haven't used this in a while. The only reason I even remember I even had this call in was because I got an email letting me know that if I don't use it in the next, I forgot, like 30 days or 7 days or something like that, that they're going to go ahead and take the number away. But if anybody wants to tap in and give your thoughts on it, go ahead. If not, I'll just keep on bloviating here, man, because every time I get into these conversations, dog, a lot of things get thrown around, right? Insecurity, or what's wrong with having a friend, or hey, they're just friends. Biz Marquis, she says it's just a friend. I will tell you guys this, Holmes. I will tell you guys this. If I ever got involved with a woman, right, and she still felt the need to hang out with other dudes, nah, homie, that's done. As a matter of fact, not only that, let me put it to you guys like this. Not only that, okay. But if I see before I even get involved with her, if I see that she has dudes around her, yeah, nah, homie, ain't for me. That's not for me. If I see that she has dudes around her, even though she's not doing anything with them, right? They're just friends, right? And maybe to her, they really are. She probably just looks at them that just sees them that way. But if I see before I even show that much interest that I'm gonna invest my time in homegirl, right? In that way, and I see that she has a bunch of dudes around her, yeah, no, no, not gonna happen. I'll just say like, yeah, you know what? That's a red flag not to be ignored. I'm gonna move on. So for me, dog, for me, I don't think I shouldn't say never, but it's just having friends of the opposite sex for the most part, especially if you're going to be in a relationship, it will bring more bad than good. It will bring more bad than good. Like I said, knowing people, that's one thing. But friends, that it's like, why would you even want to put yourself on that thin ice already? Hanging out with the opposite sex, that is family. I'll tell you this, man. My family, dog, and I'll get to what you're saying right now. My family, dog, is not the traditional Mexican family. Serio, dog. Everybody just broke up and everybody just does their own thing. Whenever I talk to all my homies or, growing up and everything, seeing on how their families were, like every for birthday parties, their cousins, their aunts, their uncles, everybody will come over, the carne asadas that they had and everything. My family was we don't do all that. It's just like, hey, love you, I'll see you at the next wedding or funeral. And that's that. I got family here in SoCal. We're all here from in the SoCal area. Nobody visits anybody. There is no family reunions. There is no, you know, birthday parties to go celebrate. There is no anything. It's just like we see each other at weddings and funerals. And when we see each other there, it's all love. Hey, how you been? That's when we catch up. We exchange numbers and say that we'll see each other, we'll call each other next week or next month, we'll get together, whatever. Even though in the back of our minds, we know, yeah, it ain't gonna happen. We'll see you at the next funeral. That's just the way it is. Okay, that you know what? Hanging out with the opposite sex that is a female. Look, I would say this, man. There are some stories, dog. There are some stories. Oh, yes, man. There are some stories of, cousins hooking up and things of that sort, dog. There are some stories out there. I would still say it gets a little bit weird. I mean, look, if you're hanging out with your sister, it's good that you have a relationship like that with your sibling. All right? That's a good thing. Start. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that you have a relationship like that with your sister or with your brother, right? If you're a female and you have a brother, it's good that you guys have, a great relationship like that. At some point, it becomes a little bit weird. I would just kind of look at it as a little bit odd. I remember there was this episode many years ago. What? Gosh, it was a talk show. I don't think it was Jerry Springer. I forgot what talk show it was, man. Look, daytime television is really for people that are unemployable. If you guys watch daytime television, that's where all these talk shows are, where, it's just all a bunch of family drama. And in between commercial breaks, it has all the commercials of like, hey, make this phone call and, become an electrician or become a roofer or become some sort of trait, right? Where it's like, hey, you know what, man, last year I was homeless, living out of my car, and just with one phone call, now I own my own business and I have a house in Malibu, or used to, since they all burned down. Uh, Daytime television during the week is a bunch of unemployable people, right? unless you work nights. But I remember I had the day off one time and I just stood home and watched some daytime television. This is many years ago, dog. And I remember there was this story, one of the talks, maybe it was Maury. I don't even know, dog. And this dude had to confess to his lady that he was cheating on his lady. He was cheating on his lady with his sister, with his own sister. And then she had said that the hyena, his lady, had said she found it kind of weird. She did question, that she found it a little bit odd that they would always hang out. She said, like, I appreciated their relationship, that they were close, but at some point she did find it a little bit odd that they would hang out all the time. If it's a family member, if it's a cousin, if it's something like that, I'd still kind of say like, just kind of limit it. Not because look, here's what I'm really getting down to. Okay, I'm not even getting down to the fact that it means that you guys are gonna hook up. No, that's not even really what it comes down to. To me, it comes down to this: if the person that you're with, assuming it's the opposite sex, right? The person that you're with, if that person isn't giving you everything that you need to fulfill that void already from the opposite sex, that person's probably not the one for you then. If you still need to hang around with all your female cousins, and when I say hang out with them, again, understand what I'm saying. I don't mean, hey, they're at the barbecues or family reunions or anything of that sort, but I'm just talking about like, hey, I'm gonna go have a good time with them and not with you. You're working tonight, which means I'm free, so I'm gonna go out with them. Instead of, you know what, you're working tonight, I'm gonna stay home. I don't need to go out with them. I'm in a relationship now, right? That's mainly what I'm bringing up, what it comes down to. So if it's a family member, yeah, I guess it kind of softens the blow a little bit. But either way, to me, it just basically comes down to, are you getting that from that person, from the person that you're with? And if you're not getting it from that person, then that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes of where your relationship is with that person. If you need to be going hanging out now, again, because people exaggerate things like, oh, so that means if you go to a concert one time. No, no, of course not. Of course not. If you go to a concert with your sibling one time or something of that sort, your whoever you're dating or something couldn't make it or whatever it is, right? That's fine. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about at all. People exaggerate things to say that, well, oh, so just this one time or something like this happens. That's fine. That's fine. But ultimately, that's what it comes down to. What I am saying is all that energy, all the energy from the opposite sex, you should be getting it from the person that you're with. And not only that, I'll go and tell you guys this too. I'll tell you guys this too. At least for me, I know there's gonna be vatos that are gonna be disagreeing with me and everything. That's fine. That's cool, dog. Like I always say, if I'm wrong, hey, I'm wrong. I don't find any interest in being friends with hyenas, dog. Like, if we're just talking about just friends, like I said, real friends, right? Not just, hey, I know them. Like real friends. I don't, I don't, I don't have any interest in that. And I've said it plenty of times. If you think back to high school, right? all the good looking girls, oh, they had the most guy friends, right? Male friends. And all the ugly hyenas, man, they didn't really have too many male friends at all. Okay, that's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. I know people like to deny that, but that's not a coincidence. So again, just knowing people is one thing. Being cool with somebody, that's one thing. Being friends with somebody, and I think that's where people kind of drop the ball on what that means. That is why you got a lot of women that say, "Oh, he's my friend. He's my friend. He's my friend. He's my friend." They consider most guys that they know, they consider them as friends because women really want the approval of men. I know it's taboo to say that, but that's really what it is, right? It's like, yeah, they go get in this field in construction or truck driving or roofing or something of that sort. And to them, they make a big deal about it. It's like, oh, yeah, I do this. Look, in a man dominated field, right? Because they're trying to get the acceptance of men. Like, hey, look, I can do it too. I don't really see dudes for the most part. I mean, times have definitely changed, Holmes. For the most part, doing what females dominated in and saying, like, hey, look at me. I can do this as well, right? Um, so basically, that's what it comes down to. Um, and that's what I told her. That's what I explained to this one chick that sparked this conversation. And I told her, or I'd asked her, how many male friends do you have? And just like most chicks, she says she has quite a few male friends. And when I broke it down to her, okay, well, are they really your friend? If you gave them the time and day to get down, would they pass it up? Would they be disgusted because they're friends? It's like, no, no, you're my friend. I'm not going to do that with you. And she kind of thought about it a little bit. She said she doesn't know, but nonetheless, yeah, that's basically what it comes down to, man. Are you getting that from the person that you're dating? If not, you might want to rethink where you guys stand in a relationship. So anyway, I just want to go ahead, come on here, talk a little bit about it. It was a kind of a fun conversation that I had with her, and she was a cool girl about it. She's a good sport about it and all. And I see her, I don't know, maybe every 3 weeks or something like that, whenever I go there. But yeah, yeah, I just thought I'd come on here, share that, throw it out there, see what you guys think about it. That was kind of a good one. Well, the opposite sex, if it was a family, I think at some point it still gets a little bit off. If you're not, I would say that's the safe bet if you're not in a relationship. But if you get into relationship, I think you need to back off of that a little bit. That's where I think you need to start pumping the brakes just a little bit. Even though she's a family member, even though she's a family member, I think it's time to pump the brakes just a bit and start backing away from that. But if you're not in a relationship, yeah, I think that's fine. That's probably the best way to go. Once you get into a relationship, I think it's time to back up a little bit. Anyway, man, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna tap a body here. Got early morning. I just saw that I had some time. Come on here and chop it up a little bit. Tomorrow, if you guys are watching this live, tomorrow we're gonna do Men Rule the World. We're gonna have some fun on that one. But outside of that, I'm gonna go ahead and tap a body here. As always, familia, live your life like you're on the road. Be aware of your surroundings. Always keep a safe distance. Blood makes you live. But loyalty makes fam. Till next time, this is Ed the Troll Trucker. Over and out.